Hello, I'm Blake Dobbins. I would like to introduce you to the Spectrum Electrostatic Aerial Spray System. This high-pressure, low-volume system induces an electrical charge onto the sprayed droplets. What does this mean? It means the droplets are attracted to the plants. The Spectrum system means improved efficacy of fungicides, herbicides, insecticides, and plant growth regulators. As the electrostatically charged droplets are attracted to the crop foliage, much like iron filings drawn to a magnet, they're drawn to both the upper and lower surfaces of the leaf. That gives farmers better control of diseases and insect and weed pests. It also gives chemical companies confidence that their products will perform at their best. Because the Spectrum system applies crop protection chemicals in solutions as low as 1 gallon per acre, applicators who use the electrostatic system can spray up to 3 times as many acres per trip compared to a high volume spray system. And that means fewer refills, less time at the loading pad, and significantly less consumption of aviation fuel. The Spectrum Electrostatic Spray System also offers specific environmental benefits. Because more of the spray droplets reach the target foliage, less pesticide falls to the ground or reaches surface water resources. Applicators who burn less aviation fuel release fewer hydrocarbon emissions into the atmosphere. Equally important, university research has shown that the electrostatic spray system produces no more spray drift than conventional spray systems. The electrostatic aerial spray system was developed by Dr. Jim Carlton during his career as an agricultural engineer with the U.S. Department of Agriculture, ARS, and is patented by the USDA. During more than 30 years of research, Dr. Carlton proved that this technology holds the potential to dramatically improve the role of aerial application in agriculture. Here are some of his findings.
I first had the original concept of putting an electrostatic spray charging system on an aircraft back in 1965. We looked at everything from uniformity of distribution of the swath pattern as it moved down from the spraying aircraft. We found that uniformity was one of the real attributes of this technology, mainly because of the charging effect from drops of same polarity moving each other away from regions of higher electric field intensity to bring about a more uniform pattern, if you might think of it, falling from the space down onto the ground. We looked at the deposition from the standpoint of insect control, boll weevils in cotton, white flies in cotton. After I began to see the results that we were getting, and I did mention that some of these depositions were showing that the enhanced level could be 4 times that over the uncharged counterpart. After we began to see such things as that, and I realized that, hey, it's time for me to go ahead and patent the concept.
Australian research has also proved that the spray system increases deposition and produces no more drift. Researchers at the University of Queensland Center for Pesticide Application and Safety mounted the system on a Cessna Ag Husky and compared it at 1 gallon per acre rates with a conventional spray system at 3 gallons per acre. They found that the electrostatic spray system delivered equivalent levels of spray deposition with lower CVs and similar or less spray drift as compared to the high volume system. We've also demonstrated improved spray deposition through the Spectrum system to university researchers, crop consultants, and chemical industry representatives with field demonstrations using fluorescent dye. In that trial, an air tractor equipped with the Spectrum system sprayed dye over rice at 1 gallon per acre. The electrostatic booms were then replaced with 10-gallon booms, and a different section of the rice field was sprayed at 10 gallons per acre. That night, we returned to the field to inspect the dye deposition patterns under a black light. This is the droplet deposition pattern through the Spectrum electrostatic system. You'll see that the droplet pattern is equally distributed all the way down to the water line, with uniform coverage on both the upper and lower leaf surfaces. By comparison, this is the dye deposition pattern through the conventional spray system at 10 gallons per acre. The conventional high-volume spray system produces significantly fewer droplets of the fluorescent dye on the upper leaf surfaces and virtually no droplets on the lower sides of the leaves. Listen to what aerial applicators on 3 continents have to say about the Spectrum electrostatic spray system. Alan Paulson, the owner of Tiam Aero Agricola in the Brazilian state of Rio Grande do Sul, reports that he can now spray more than 3 times as much ground since he installed a Spectrum system on his Ipanema aircraft. Paulson sprayed more than 18,000 hectares of rice during his first season he used the system, and then bought a second system after his farmers demanded an electrostatic application on all their land. Trevor Carrison, an Australian applicator at Swan Hill, Victoria, says he recouped the cost of his Spectrum system in the first 8,000 acres he sprayed with the system. In just 2 weeks, he used the system to spray herbicide on 12,000 acres of cereal crops. And listen to Spec Thornton, the owner of Independent Dusting Service in El Campo, Texas. Spec, who was the first aerial applicator to buy and use the Spectrum electrostatic spray system, sprayed more than 100,000 acres of rice and cotton with the system in his first 2 years. He mounted his first Spectrum system on an Air Tractor 502, then moved it to an Air Tractor 402 after he found he could gain more efficiency with the system on a smaller, safer, and less costly airplane. Now Spec has his second system on an Air Tractor 502.
For the last 4 years that I've been using this electrostatic spray boom, I've sprayed in excess of 700,000 acres of rice, cotton, and Roundup for pre-plant burn down, and virtually every chemical that we use in this area. To date, I've not had to respray a single acre. From an aerial applicator's perspective, I rank this right alongside of GPS as being one of the most efficient, helping our efficiency the most. I can put out less water, I do a better job, I'm more efficient. That all turns into more money and less expense. It's the best thing that's come along to help our industry. I've had several farmers and our consultants mention to me how impressed they were with the outcome of the job. I had several farmers, one farmer and one consultant tell me that they had never seen as pretty a job of cotton defoliation, either with a ground rig or by any other method. In 25 or 30 years of looking at either farming cotton or consulting and walking cotton fields. The uniformity of the spray job, it's surpassed by none. In 30 years of flying, I have never seen as good a work as what the electrostatic spray boom does. Many fields, you fly over from the air and look down at it, and you can't tell which way the field was flown. And I believe there are quite a few benefits to the chemical industry. As I mentioned, one of the benefits for the farmer, their products work better. As I mentioned earlier too, I have sprayed in excess of 700,000 acres, and I've not had a complaint yet from a consultant, a farmer, or a chemical sales, basic sales rep, or anyone. I believe that, in a nutshell, it will make their products work better, perform better due to the increased coverage that we're getting, and they will have fewer complaints, and fewer complaints that they will have to work. It's just almost bulletproof from an applicator standpoint, and from a chemical company and a consultant standpoint, and a farmer's standpoint. Nobody loses. It's a win-win-win situation.
University researchers, growers, and crop consultants have discovered that the electrostatic spray system can increase spray deposition, increase control of insects, diseases, and weeds, while increasing crop yields. Chemical companies are finding that the Spectrum system improves the performance of their fungicides, insecticides, herbicides, and plant growth regulators. And aerial applicators have discovered that the Spectrum electrostatic spray system will reduce their operating cost, improve their profitability, and keep their customers happier. Around the world, the industry has trended toward larger droplets at higher and higher gallonages, but there's a big cost associated with high volume spraying. When applicators haul more water and burn more fuel, they have to charge the farmer more per acre. But instead of staying in the community, that extra money goes to the petroleum industry for fuel. High volume application can actually decrease the performance of the chemical sprayed, and that in turn can hurt crop yields and create more product performance complaints for chemical companies. The Spectrum system reverses this trend by controlling the deposition of small droplets. Because the aerial applicator gets the job done faster, he burns less fuel and improves his profits. The farmer gets better performance from his chemicals and pays the applicator less to haul water. The chemical company's products work better because they're placed on the target foliage. The environment wins with less off-site drift and exhaust emissions, and the agricultural community benefits because the Spectrum system increases profits not expenses. Phones, airplanes, and automobiles of the 1940s are antique today. Yet, if you look at the majority of the equipment used to apply pesticides in 2003, very little has changed. I encourage you to discover how the Spectrum Electrostatic Aerial Spray System can improve your business. Here's how you can contact us.